Hello.
I see you.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yes.
Hello, people. I think. Yeah. I'm not gonna bother playing the stupid clips, so. Vox Talks! Episode 5, I think? Maybe? Oh, I'm not recording. That's not cool. Record!
Can they hear me?
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Everything locked up.
Right.
It does
It
not
did?
like this.
Really? I did it the other day. I do it with that other one, though.
Right.
That other application.
I usually do it. Oh god. It's freaking out. Oh, it's
What the
saying
hell is that?
unrecord. Test 1 2. Test. Okay, let me pull up the audio thingy again. Alright. Alright, is that okay? That should work. Okay, let's try recording again.
Oh,
Shabam!
Cobra, tiny Cobra. Oh, no, Cobra. Tiny bit down, Cobra. I mean, I can walk up to the microphone. I can talk to it. It's right here.
I'll just
Hello.
upload it straight from Twitch. I'm not worried about
That's,
this.
that's very nice. Very nice. I'm not going to do that, though. I can turn my gain up, though. Hang on.
Wait,
I
no,
have
you
one of
don't.
those-
You don't want things to go up. They're telling you to.
Oh,
I'm turning you down.
wait. Just turn my gain up. My gain.
Okay. Why won't it stop recording? Oh god, now it
I don't
maximized.
know.
That's not useful.
Hello. Megatron. What?
Megatron.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do...
I am
At least for the
Optimus
first 10
Prime.
minutes, I'm not going to do any voice impressions.
Is the stream still even live? Because Wirecast is like flashing on my screen.
I see you with weird Minecraft pig eyes. There you go. That was weird.
It's still flashing. I don't know what's going on.
I still see you there, so...
Oh, it's back. Okay, never mind. Well, sort of. Come on, Wirecast.
Wirecast is so silly. Quetzalcoatl.
You will stop recording. We'll be right back. I have to kill this
Quetzalcoatl.
shit. Cancel. Don't stop broadcasting, just stop
Cancel
recording.
the stream! Cancel the stream!
Broadcast.
Copyright.
Stop recording.
Captain Pants.
Captain Pants,
23.
what up?
I did that. What the hell did I? I think I did one episode of Cancel the Stream. I just sat there for like the last 10 minutes and just read the
There we go.
stream.
Interesting.
But I did it over everyone else. So Cracker and Patty were talking, and I'm just sitting there reading the stream in the most amusing voices I could think of over them.
Right.
It was amusing. I like that one actually. It was fun.
Okay, I think it's working now.
It is.
Okay. So yeah, I would use XSplit, but I don't like XSplit, even though I paid for the higher audio at some point. But it never ran well on my computer after one of the updates like a year ago, and so I just switched to Wirecast, and that's what we use at the radio studio, and it seems to work for me most of the time.
Wirecast. Wirecast's not bad. That's what I use. No, I don't. I use XSplit. Never mind. I used Wirecast, and I thought Wirecast was actually better.
Uh-huh.
And then I guess it's it's like one thing over another. It's just personal preference,
Right.
really.
I just feel like XSplit's way too like half done as far as switching scenes and anything goes. It's just got a massive clunky interface, and I don't like it.
I had a lot more. I had much more easy time doing the Wirecast than XSplit. XSplit suck.
Me love you a long time.
Hey. Love you long time. $5. Fucky.
Oh.
Bam. You love it. I'm on stream. Hello. Hello, stream.
Oh god.
Oh, yeah. You don't know what you're meant for, man. I've just been living off Monster for like the last 2 weeks.
Yay. Sun
Mostly
Kiss is where it's
because-
at, bro.
No. No. There's just not enough caffeine in that. What is the warning? Actually, I don't think the Monster has a warning that Rockstar does. which is actually
Okay.
means they're kind of. Oh yeah, it does.
This
It does
drink will
limit
kill
3
you if you
cans per
keep
day.
drinking it.
No, limit 3 cans per day. Multiply that by 2 or 3, and that's pretty much my limit.
Yeah.
It's like my 5th one.
So everyone who probably actually hasn't heard of you, this is CobraWolf. Well, not me, but that's CobraWolf, the magical voice in the Skype box.
I'm invisible.
He's finally
You cannot
back. He likes disappearing for long periods of time with unexcused absences and stuff.
It was very much excused. I had to move. Hello.
Yeah. He moved from freaking down south to up north. That's a bit ridiculous.
Yes, from. It's not even. That's the funny part is you can't go much more south than where I was.
Much more north.
It's not, but it's not more considered the South. It's Florida. It's Cuba, basically.
Well,
You go
yeah.
to Georgia, Georgia's the South. You go to Louisiana, Louisiana's the South. You go to Florida, people are like, oh, you live in Florida. I live in the Southeast. No, you live in Florida. Okay,
Right.
I guess I do.
But
So, yes, moved. I moved up to the north, back home. I moved back home. Went back to the cold weather. I moved in January because I'm a moron. Last January. So now this will be the second winter back here, which is good. I'm hoping for snow.
wait, what? You've been back a whole year?
Almost. Yeah, it was by January 2nd because I had to start work January 3rd.
All right. Damn.
Yeah.
You've been gone.
I've been gone. I mean, I've been gone, sort of. I've been here in the background
Uh-huh.
doing my thing. I
Not
stopped
keeping up with
doing
your
that.
Minecraft series, which you finally brought back. So that's cool.
I did that. Should be rendering that right now, actually. Let me do that.
Oh God.
I was supposed to go up earlier today. I got a little sidetracked. Anyway,
What was I gonna say?
yeah, I guess I tried. But I've been in the background doing things. Obviously, I stopped doing the content manager part for Yoush. I just couldn't do it. Didn't have the time. Politics. Wanted to kill people. Didn't like things. Whatever. So
Right.
I kind of stayed in the background and looked to see when things were when the time was right to pop back in and do things, and I found them. I found the time right.
So are you actually still like partnered through them at all or anything, or are you just like completely out?
I am lazy that it's not lazy. I'm not a graphics person, as you may have seen
Right.
on but I also don't have I don't have anybody where before when I was the content manager, people were just kissing my ass.
Right. Upload my video. I give you all the things.
Dude, just put me in the description. I'm like, well, I'm still a peon. No one's gonna watch my shit anyway. But hey,
Right.
if you're gonna give me a free background and free thumbnails, fucking dude, whatever you want.
Right.
That's it can go right ahead. But yeah, I can't get that anymore, and it's one of those things that I don't really care.
Right.
I just if somebody says, "Hey, man, I made you this really cool background for your, for your YouTube page, fantastic, or Twitter page, great," but I'm not worried about it really.
Right. Okay. Just curious.
Good. Yeah. So I am technically still partnered, and I think half of it is just, I still obviously I'm still really good friends with Nando, so
Right.
I know what kind of money they're pulling in.
Uh-huh.
So I know that their pull within the YouTube world is getting bigger. So that means their revenue stream will be a little better. But no, I don't. Whatever. I don't tweet any of their shit. I don't ride any of their coattails. It's just. But now I'm going to start not calling in. I'm going to start demanding a lot of my favors to be called in. All those times that I was working for free because when I was working for them.
Right.
I will pretty much be like, hey, here's my videos. Here's what you're going to do. Here's what you're going to do for me, son. So I think that was the biggest part of it. But, it's more because now that I have some ideas and whatnot, I'm going to be putting more things on the channel. And anybody that goes over there now, just know that one video that says Mr. Pickle's response,
Yeah.
It's not a PG video.
But you could
it's-
instead watch his Where Are They Now series.
And watch the the intro at least. So
Oh, yeah.
it's kind of. Oh, there's a little picture. It's like do. That was when they called it Dragon Warrior. Oh, the good old days. Good old. It's so stupid that they had to change the damn name. But
What's it called now?
Dragon Quest.
Oh, that, yeah. Okay.
Well, it's also like there was a series years ago from the not defunct but semi-defunct Sierra when it was actually the company Sierra.
Mm-hmm.
The Heroes Quest series, which after the first game or first two games, it had to go back to they had to change the title completely to Quest for Glory
Right.
because of the board game which I owned called Heroes Quest, which roundabout ways was actually done by Games Workshop.
Oh, really?
Which at the time I wasn't doing a lot of Games Workshop stuff, so I didn't really find it out till later and blah 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 blah.
Right.
Good stuff. Quetzalcoatl.
Why do you keep saying that?
It's just funny. I don't know why I always think of Quetzalcoatl, but there was a game years ago called Sanitarium that was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a point-and-click, weird, creepy adventure, like psychological horror game where basically you start off and this guy gets put into you think you're put into an amnesiac coma, and if you didn't, that's a word, amnesiac coma. It was a great, really awesome. It was creepy. Anything set in Sanitarium is creepy anyway. I mean, it was one of those top-down, third-person things. It was funny. It was really good. So, it was definitely, yes. New phrase is amnesiac coma. Next time your friend looks at you stupid, you're like, man, are you in an amnesiac coma right now?
Oh, dear.
It was good. It was really good. It was just trippy. Like, you randomly would switch to these different characters that went through history, and one of them was you became Quetzalcoatl.
Okay.
That was it. I mean, not to mention the fact that he's a first century Mesoamerican deity. Other than that, no big deal. The Aztec people, no big deal. It's a little bit of history, people. It's good.
A little bit of history is
No.
good for everyone.
So what's new with you? What's going on? It's your show. It's got your name at the top. It's really mine 3 times, but
Yeah. Not a lot. Been extremely busy with schoolwork and shit. That's basically keeping me busy full time. I would like to announce, though, which it's not in the topic list full of CobraWolf, but that Chew and I will be having a live stream on Halloween evening called All Halos Eve. Although it's not entirely going to be Halo related, but we'll be giving away the Halo 4 FPS Freaks Infinities. We got 2 of them to give away from Control Freak. We'll be giving away them in the stream, not really a contest or anything, but just kind of giving them out to the viewers. And we have no idea who's actually going to turn up on Halloween, since we don't know how many people stay in or how many people actually go out and do shit. But hopefully there'll be enough Forever Alone people that stay in that'll come check it out. We're going to try and hopefully do like some creepy, scary games like Slender, Dead Space, Fear 3, Slender, the Slender in the Woods game, whatever. I'm supposed to be Tinder Man, apparently. And Chew's gonna be a kitten in a box. That'll be
Nice.
interesting. And apparently, I think today the new Control Freak, which I also have over here, the FPS, hello phone, FPS Havoc, just came out. That's the Black Ops 2 version. I assume I'll be doing a giveaway for those as well, but everybody and their mother apparently wants to give me shit to give away, and so when I'm gonna find time to do that, I do not know. But I'll figure it out.
Yep, I'll go ahead and I'll take some of that gamer grub.
If shipping was free, I would send it to you, because I'm probably not going to eat most of it. So,
It's good, actually. Because the only place really around that I know of that sells it is Best Buy, unless you buy it online.
right.
So I went and picked up a pack. Like, man, this looks awesome.
See, it looks like it's mostly like peanutty, and I don't do peanuts, so
I bought the s'mores one. It wasn't bad. It wasn't very s'more-ish, but it wasn't bad.
right.
Yeah. I will say, not as a random, hey, look at this sponsor called Control Freak. They're actually really good.
Yeah.
I bought them when they were cool, when nobody knew about them.
Ooh, hipster mode.
Now they're really good, actually. The only thing, unless they've changed, which it doesn't look like they have much, the only complaint I had was when I take them on and off my controllers.
Right, I remember you mentioning that.
Out of the top of my controller.
Right.
Out of so, at this point, I pretty much just, keep them on my Xbox controller.
Right.
I'll just buy another set.
I keep mine on too, and I still have my original. Like, I have the close quarter CQC ones or whatever, but they're basically the same as whatever the standard is. They're all the same pretty much. But I literally have 3 pairs sitting here that they've sent me that I'm just like not even opening. I don't even know what to do with them. I mean, I want to keep them, but it's like they're special fancy ones, so I don't want to use them and rub the emblems off. But they just kind of sit here.
Yeah, give them away.
I don't know. They're collect.
Give away.
I have other ones
Give
to
away.
give away. They give me free ones to give away. These are my collection.
You never got back to me, by the way.
What?
You never got back to me.
With what?
I was trying to get him to do
Oh,
the.
you sent them the links and they commented on. I remember they said something about your pictures.
Oh yeah, because he went over to the website.
Right. But nothing about actual sponsorship.
No, it's funny. They had something with Nando a while back, and then they just never. He never. Oh, more.
Interesting.
Nando this time. I'm like, come sponsor my part of the podcast.
Right.
The tech guy. It's better.
I'll send
Damn it.
an email or two. Not that it'll help, but
No, I'll just keep spamming the shit out of them. The worst comes to worst, what's going to happen? I'll just get him to do my channel, and just say, look, now that I'm in the inner circle, you will give me stuff for the podcast, or I'll stab you in the eye sack.
I mean, just hammering them on Twitter worked with Elgato. So
Elgato.
because I actually sent them,
Exactly.
which I got that by the way. I actually sent them a YouTube message when they told me to, like months ago. Sent that to them, Hapage, AverMedia, asking for sponsorship or a review product, and they said no, that they didn't have enough resources to allocate. And then after I saw that Daz, the Yauchcraft dude, got one, and he was a bit smaller and stuff, and I realized he had a community manager position, but overall that doesn't necessarily do a lot for advertising. I sent them a few tweets and then just kind of kept sending them, and they're like, okay, shut up, here's a review copy.
Nice. Very nice.
I only wanted it because I couldn't get my freaking Blackmagic Intensity shuttle to work on my new motherboard. But ironically enough, right as I got the Elgato in the mail, we got a new motherboard and APU for Choose computer, and it works fine on there. So now I didn't really need it, but I'll take it.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
I need a game capture, says Captain Pants 23.
Well, maybe I'll convince someone to do a giveaway. See, at the moment I have at least 1 or 2 Control Freaks giveaways I'm supposed to do. Kingston wants to sponsor one, and I want that to be something a bit more epic, but I don't know what to do with that, because they want to give like a solid state drive and a couple flash drives for that one. Squid Grips, I think, wants to participate in one, and I'm just like, okay, I don't know how to. It took us like a month to get the original Control Freak giveaway I did with the Halo 4 copy and stuff together, but that was a huge tournament. And now that other people are like, here, do a giveaway, I'm just like, what do?
The other one I was trying to get in was fuck are they? I don't want to screw up the name of their company, but I'm just trying to. I went through the stupidest Twitter conversation today with whatever. Just I don't want to get into it. It's really dumb. Big Shot Mods. I saw they had a picture that they posted up the other day of one of the controllers they did. Whatever, they're custom Xbox controllers, PS3 controllers. It doesn't really make a difference, but they posted pictures of some of the custom graphics in the controllers, and it was actually something with a almost like an old school flash art tattoo kind of thing, and I happen to have 2 old school flash art tattoos. And I'm like, man, that's awesome.
Right.
So, dude, I'd love to get in with those guys because I like anything. Ooh, look at that. I like getting in with anything that's, with that custom artwork. I don't really give a shit more about the, I've got 9,000 buttons that are all rapid fire.
Right.
I don't really care.
Right.
But when you do custom controllers, it just helps.
Right,
I'm a visual person.
See, that's what I wanted, and I talked to a couple controller people, but they just kind of like, they'll give me deals, and since I have like $50 to my name, I don't exactly want to spend that on a controller right now.
Right. Well, I'm kind of lucky because they're based out of Fort Lauderdale, so I'm just gonna give their address to Nando and be like, Nando,
Knock on their door.
going to do. You're gonna go to these guys' building and say, you will now sponsor all of us.
And see, you'd think, like, I realize you only have done, like, 2 episodes, but is the tech podcast doing well yet? I haven't looked at it much.
The first one, we got trumped by Nando's MMA.
Mm-hmm.
That make music really good. And the second one, we kind of totally screwed up because we logged in and realized, kind of like right now, it's the presidential debate.
Oh, right.
So that's what happened. We logged in. We're like, oh, the presidential debate. Yeah. And every time I tried to set up the stream on YouTube, it just failed.
Right.
It sucked pretty bad. But no, the first one had 247. The second one is 120. I think it does better when it's actually up as the podcast. I know on Podbean they were #1 when they were actually doing consistent videos of the That Guy show. And they were actually over that other one that's really big. So that didn't get so good on Podbean.
Interesting.
But they did. And their iTunes one actually did really, really well too.
Huh.
So
Yeah, well,
once it goes up there, it does good. It's just on the video side,
Right.
whatever.
somebody needs to show me, actually, how to freaking get this set up on Podbean, because I've tried like 4 different times or to set a feed up, but I don't have anything that'll directly link to the audio file. And I tried just doing it through Podbean, but the audio files are too big, and I'm not paying for subscription service right now, but like, it won't let me upload it, so how the hell do I get a stream up to get it to iTunes?
That's really weird. I've done it. I've played with it, but mostly Sub handles all that crap because he just had the account anyway. So I make him do it.
Of course.
So I'll ask him. To shoot you a message.
I wonder if he
It's
still
simple 'cause he
remembers me.
does it.
Like, we haven't talked in almost a year.
I don't give him a choice. Sub's a good guy. He was doing really good there for a while. Then he just just got really busy. So he didn't get time. So kind of like all of us, we didn't get a lot of time to do a lot of videos and crap like that.
Right.
So it was good. Good stuff. Yay. But he hasn't put it up yet, but hopefully it'll go up soon. So it's not been doing bad. It's for the first 2 episodes, it's something getting 200 and something views and 100 and something views in the first couple days. Not so bad. I mean, obviously we really put it out there as much. You don't really pimp out the first couple episodes where you're still kind of in your infancy and going blah 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 blah. We have idea.
Right.
Once it gets a little bit streamlined and we actually cut it to almost an exact hour, which is what our idea is.
Mm-hmm.
Or about 45 minutes, and then maybe another couple minutes of going through the the comments and everything and answering questions. That's kind of the idea of the show. So once it gets there, then we'll start really pushing as hard as we can.
Cool. And see, I'm waiting until RPM's supposed to be giving me live streaming on YouTube, and so I'm kind of waiting to figure out whether or not I want to switch to that for this before I even worry about getting it like put out there a whole lot, if I even keep up with this. But because right now I'm doing it on Twitch, and I have that embedded, through the website, which I'm working on fixing right now. But if I switch over to YouTube, then I don't want to keep mentioning like doing it on Twitch and then move it back over. And
Now we do it on YouTube, and it's funny. We do it Oh, whatever. Nando uses XSplit, so I didn't have much of a choice because that was the way he set me up, just doing it through there. So they have it set to do it through Wirecast, which is supposed to be a lot easier through YouTube. Go figure.
Of course.
Because when you're doing it through XSplit, it's just a pain in the ass. I don't know, man. I do not like streaming through YouTube. I think it's stupid, really. Doing it through Twix. I like Twix. Doing it through it's easy to, you open up whatever your streaming application you say is go, and it just goes. Right. It's like, oh, okay.
Is that really all you gotta do? I mean, is that wow? Is there really more you have to do for YouTube?
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, you do. It's a pain in the butt. Because you start the stream, then you've got to start the stream in YouTube, and you have to start the stream in the application. Make sure everything is, talking to each other. Make sure the links are correct within your application. It really is stupid. Oh, it's. I'm sure at some point they'll start adding compatibility into the applications, but they haven't yet.
And I mean, the first big stream just kind of crashed YouTube altogether, so.
Yeah.
Although I feel like there were more on that than on the League of Legends stream, which crashed Twitch, so we can't really say much, I guess, but.
That's nice.
Crashing everywhere.
Yes. Yeah, I've been hearing they just can't handle it yet. They can't handle it. Either it's a live bandwidth thing they can't handle or whatever.
I mean, I can't imagine streaming, the same up to 720 or 1080p video to millions and millions of people at once can't be easy, so.
No, it's not. But again, I don't look at these companies, so I don't know what their back end is. I don't know what they're using for all of their servers. I can tell you what I would do, but I don't know how they're going by all this crap. I don't know what they're doing. So I don't know why they crash their servers. No, it's 6 million. Was it? It was like 6 million on the Stratosphere jump. So something like that. Whatever.
In other news, Vegas Pro 12 just came out recently. Apparently, like the other day. I've already played around with it a bit. Honestly, I don't see anything different other than, they always change how everything looks, and so it becomes confusing looking at first. They claim that there's, new innovative editing tools, but frankly, I don't see any point to it. They do have some more menu options that are kind of cool that are just kind of shortcuts to things you already did. It claims you can import After Effects files if you save them as Premiere projects, but I tried doing that with just like a simple intro, and without having every single frame saved as a separate file, it didn't want to import it anyway, so I don't see the point. They got some new Titler Pro thing, better graphics rendering, 3D, blah blah blah, audio control, new capture support. I'm just thankful it saved my render settings from Vegas 11, but
nice. I remember Vegas when it was first released, and it wasn't made by Sony.
Yeah, your audio program.
I know. No, it was Vegas.
I know.
It was Sonic Factory. It was Vegas. It just wasn't Sony. Then I, kind of went out of the audio field for a while and came back and wait. Sony bought Sonic Foundry. I'm like, that sucks. Because at the time, Sony made crap. They made audio software. It just was horrible.
Right.
So, I like it. It's good. They definitely trimmed a lot out of it when they bought Sonic Foundry. Then.
Right.
But that's me.
I still use it for basically any, unless I'm doing effects. I use it for all my audio stuff. So when I do the rejoins for the radio show I intern at, I use Vegas. When I am just putting audio together and stuff, I use Vegas. Now for effects, I'll use Adobe Audition, but for just streamline straight up editing, I still use Vegas because it's easier with the timeline stuff.
Yeah. See, that's funny because a lot of times people would just that's what you use Vegas for. And when Vegas came out, it was one of the first applications that did video and audio. So a lot of them, and with multi-tracks, whereas a lot of them before you had to do the audio and then the video separate, then you had to kind of line them up later, and that was a pain in the ass. So then Sonic Foundry said, look, we have this idea. we're going to put out this application that's awesome. It's going to do video and audio, and it's going to be a pro audio application. And a lot of people really loved it. It was a hit when it came out. It really was. They made some crazy good software.
Right.
Just for another history lesson.
CobraWolf, the tech historian.
Indeed.
Oh.
Boobies.
Boobies.
There's no boobies in the street.
Okay.
Just
I'm
saying.
also working on redoing the website because of the centering issue, because I'm a lazy fuck who just kind of made it in Photoshop and imported it in a Dreamweaver. And you have to like scroll sideways to center it. So I've remade the bare bones of it in Dreamweaver again with just like a blurred out background of the same plaid stuff. I don't necessarily know if I like how it looks yet. But like for the life of us, we had like 3 of us working on the single website, trying to get it to just auto center or crop itself. But because of the way I did it with Photoshop, it would not do it at all. So that's fun. I just assumed it would work because I basically took the YouTube background template I made or used and already had set up for my YouTube background, and then just like deleted the YouTube formatting and adjusted it for having the stream footage on it. But they apparently have some fancy well, I guess also because you save it as one solid JPEG that they crop or whatever, but they get to center and crop it. I just kind of get a 2,000 wide pixel website, and yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
I'm not a web person. I can cut stuff up. I can make the website work. Like I can build it and the server work, but then I can give you permissions to do the rest. That's where my expertise starts. If I have to go any deeper than that, then me and Google are going to be spending some real long nights together.
Quality time.
Ooh, you've got no idea. All I have to say is never let the sysadmin be the web admin. Doesn't work very well. We don't know what we're doing. We're sysadmins for a reason.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I've had to do that. Mostly because of Nando. Actually, I had to do his job a couple times. It was fantastic. Oh, Nando's out. You get to do it today. I'm like, no, I don't. No. I'm not doing anything. It's his job. He can do it when he gets back.
Yeah.
Bastard. That was fun. Those were the days.
I remember you all talking about working together and stuff back when we friggin' played Bad Company 2 and shit.
Yep. Bad Company. Yes, we. He still works there. Actually, still at the same place. He's taking his classes again, so, which is good. I'm happy that he is.
That's also weird, because that's also what we were talking about back when we played Bad Company 2.
Yes. Yeah, he decided to, restart up again. He took a break for a while. I mean, it's hard because they demand so much and they pay you absolutely nothing. There's absolutely no compensation for what
Gotcha.
they slate. So it was kind of hard to take the class and stuff, and he was just kind of messing around anyway.
Right.
So, but he's fine. He's taking classes again. It's good.
See, you ruined everything, because we used to play lots of games. We used to talk about things. Then you decided to go offline. I haven't talked to Sub, AJ, Chuck, Nando, anybody since. And
AJ Chuck.
And then I ended up, leaving Yoush and stuff without you there, and so.
Yeah. Well, again, I was there.
Okay.
I was there.
You weren't
I was
present.
I was in the background. I wasn't present. I was kind of in the shadows at that point. But no, it's true. I mean, I still talk to them just to kind of go through. I haven't had a lot of time with the kids, and the job has been insane. So I've been doing a lot of overtime, a lot of reading, a lot of learning. I mean, hell, I've been off. I'm off this week, and I was off last week, and I've still been working. I've been, going back and forth with emails, answering the phone. still sending out, doing a bunch of work, basically a bunch of paperwork.
Yeah.
So that's just how busy it's been keeping me.
Fun times.
Oh, not really. But yeah, it's been busy. But those guys are still there. They're still
Yeah.
gaming. It's hard to keep up with them too, because with them it's like they'll be playing something. They'll be playing Battlefield 3 and playing, and all of a sudden, bam,
Different game.
they're playing something else. I'm like, what the?
See, I lost a lot of my gaming groups from like high school that way, because as soon as I get the game that they're playing, they're already in game and playing something else, and
Yeah, and it's funny because it's sit there and they'll give me crap where it's like, oh, you stopped playing. I'm like, dude, I stopped playing because every time I jumped in, you weren't there. You were playing something else. So now everybody's playing Borderlands 2. I have it on the 360, so I didn't bother to get it on the PC. I'll get it eventually. Like I did with Borderlands 1. I have Borderlands 1 on the PC and the Xbox, and I'll do the same thing with Borderlands 2 eventually. I get it on the PC when they do. When Steam has one of their sales and.
yeah, that's usually when I get everything, and by then no one wants to play it, so...
Yep.
And shit, I still have, like, 20-plus games on here that I need to play through for, like, storyline's sake before new games come out that I haven't even touched. Like, Bioshock Infinite's about to come out. I haven't played through the first two. Darksiders 2 came out. I still gotta finish the first one. Assassin's Creed 3, gotta finish the previous 3 of them.
Those I finished. Those were
I'm still on 2. And I have
Assassin's Creed 3.
2 copies of Brotherhood, and then I still gotta... I think someone's gonna give me Revelations at some points to play through. So,
Oh yeah, no, I didn't. I did Assassin's Creed. No, I didn't. You're right. I only did 1 and 2. I didn't do any.
well, the
I don't have them,
expansions
so.
you don't really need, so...
Yeah. The live one would have been cool when it came out to play. What was that? Wasn't Brotherhood? What was it on?
Yeah,
Revelations.
Well, I think Brotherhood had it too, actually.
Yeah. Whatever was the last
Right.
one that came out. That would have been fun to play, only when it was out. Because now Part 3 is coming out. They're always going to playing Part 2 or all the expansions, whatever. Where is the Xbox 360?
The Xbox 360 in my room is under my desk. I don't even know if I can show that. Probably not.
Probably not, since you're not wearing pants.
It's under there, on top of Chew's computer, actually, and the PS3 is on top of my computer. But yeah. Yeah, that cheesiest setup video ever.
Oh man, yeah. Mine's gotten worse. I haven't done anything. I've got shit
Damn, you
everywhere.
disappointed me. Your setup was supposed to be amazing.
Yeah, I know. By now it was supposed to be, but I've got all my Warhammer gear still out because I can't find that one box. I've got hard drives all over the place. I've got all my Cisco stuff all over the place. Camping backpacks, crap.
4 times Irish Prodigy.
Yeah.
I've gone through puberty 4 times. Oh, 5 times. Okay, that works.
Oh, good. At least that person knew. Watch the
I
quad.
forgot. I can't keep track.
Watch the coup.
But I actually found some boxes in my closet the other day of all my like D&D miniatures, all some old action figures and shit like that. I'm kind of like, yeah, I could set that out. Oh wait, where am I gonna? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, even me. I gotta put mine. Actually, I just gotta put them back in the box. I gotta see if my green stuff is still good because I want to start doing the modeling. Right. My sister loves painting them, so I'm just gonna be like, look, I'll model them. You paint them. And then I'll find someone to play them with. I'm so lonely.
Oh.
Well, it's hard with those.
Right.
It's not like you can jump into a game and
Matchmaking. Oh wait.
oh, I'm just gonna sit in my basement and cry myself into a
I
stupor.
can't find the server browser in here.
I know. I was gonna put a wall up that says matchmaking. Boop. I hit the button, but it does not work. Damn
And see,
it.
I'd considered, perhaps you could find a way with some of the tabletop stuff to do it like online with either like a stream or video Skype or something, but you really can't keep track of everything with that as easy.
No, it's
And it's not
hard.
the same
You could do that with
experience either, so.
No, that's true. You could do it with somebody you know and trust because obviously it's just I rolled a 6. I rolled another 6. Look at me, I rolled 36 sixes.
Oh, all my stats? Well,
Hey.
they're all natural 20s. Yeah, just go with that.
Of course, I was only 3,000 points in this army. Yeah, okay, buddy. So, it's cool though when you go and you play it. You know, you bring your own scenery, you bring all your troops and everything, and it's
Right.
fun. But there's a couple local hobby stores around here, and I've just got to really hit them up. And it's funny. There's actually a couple of guys that are local that I used to watch their videos, some of the battle reports, and go take them out, kill them. It's awesome. So it's good. It's good. That's good.
What?
Why is your Xbox banner blood
Because I like
spattered?
Photoshop.
Dude,
okay?
why not?
Why not? It-
Awesome.
I can't help where the blood of my victims goes. I'm too lazy to clean it
Yeah.
off, so I just
It's a lot harder for me to hide the bodies now because, you know, in Florida you just go up to the glades and bodies disappear. Here it's like, yeah, there's blood spatter, but I have a basement. No one goes in the basement but me.
True. But then you gotta smell it or clean it up, or
No, there's no cleaning down here.
no, you just pile them in the corner.
Yeah, I got spiders.
Spiders. Oh god.
Yeah, I hate spiders.
No team killer.
Crap about 'em.
I bleed Sunkissed. There is a very distinct difference, a very important distinct difference between Fanta and Sunkissed, and that is the caffeine and the flavor. I bleed Sunkissed.
Still not enough caffeine. Advertisement? Let your hours. Really? They advertise on Skype now?
Yeah,
Never paid
it's
attention to
horrible.
that.
And they give out your IPs
Yeah.
to anyone and everyone. Woohoo!
Okay, they can let someone try to break into my network.
I could just imagine your network being like something out of freaking like hackers, where just having the like machine like animated things going after each other.
Yeah, more or less. But it's getting tighter. Again, it's because I'm going for all the security certifications. So
Gotta tighten
Yeah,
it up for
good
that
stuff.
one Chinese WoW gold farmer
what?
that's gonna go after you.
it's tight. So I'll sit there and I'll do a little war drive around the neighborhood, and when you wait for a response to you
Bye,
leaving and
Pack
getting
Life.
on, bye. Oh wait, I couldn't. Hey, no, bye.
Lol. I actually
Coco.
did it. Like, I found their Dr. Pepper Sunkissed sponsorship form and sent them a letter like last summer. I might have better luck now, but I doubt it.
You never know. Never know. It's worth a shot. What's the worst thing they're gonna say? No.
True.
I'm gonna do the same thing. You know, I'm just gonna basically sit there and I'm gonna hammer everybody on Twitter until
I mean,
someone.
that's what I did to get anything. I mean, I don't really have much as far as like formal sponsorship goes, but to get review products or anything like that, I just sent emails out, just a copy pasted email out to like everyone, and I only got a few bites, but those have worked out pretty well. I mean, the guys at Kingston have sent me tons of crap and are working with me for stuff. Control Freak's working with me. I got that Game Capture HD.
I don't think I run Kingston.
Welcome back, Chu.
What the hell are you run? Choo.
And it was really interesting because, I'm expecting when I'm getting, and AMD. I mean, I was really surprised that, a 2,000 follower or less, custom controller company won't talk to me, or person, not a company, won't talk to me for stuff.
Person.
But yet freaking AMD is just like, here you go.
That's funny. Yeah, there's a couple I'd like to get into. Thermal Take would be one. I've used their stuff
I did
forever.
email them because I was looking for a CPU cooler, and I think they do power supplies. They were maybe one of the because I needed a new
Yeah.
power supply, so I was trying to get one, and I still didn't get one.
There's just a couple companies I'd love to. I'd love to be able to not even just get it, just be able to give their stuff away, just so people
Right, exactly.
know about them, or at least if it's a gaming company or a controller company or hardware or whatever else. But that'd be
And
nice.
see, that's what
Be nice.
That's
But
what I was expecting when I got a response from anyone. You must post pictures and links everywhere. You must do this and that, because that's kind of what the people who do my Minecraft server, Rankflux, and that's what they're kind of like. You must whore us out. I'm like, okay, whatever. But with like
yeah.
Kingston,
Nope.
he's just like, well, what do you want to do? We can just give you some stuff to say you use in your system. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, and a giveaway. And they're like, yeah, that sounds great. I'm like, okay. So here's a solid state drive and some RAM to just put in your computer for the hell of it. Oh, that works.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I mean, people need to understand that when you get sponsored from someone, it's definitely not a free
Right.
thing. They do expect something as much as, either an AMD or a RackFlex, whereas for someone like us, it's like, oh my God, they just gave me, 12 gigs of RAM for free. I wouldn't be able to afford that. Whereas for them, that's like $100 of retail cost. It's like $20 that is wasted, and they don't really care. It's nothing. But if you ask for a brand new, 6-core,
That's a different story.
20-something gigs of RAM server to have or give away or to review, then they'll probably start looking and going, well, we sell that for like $7,000, and
Yeah.
that's a bite for us, but whatever. We'll see what's going on. So I don't know. It's fun. Obviously, for you, it's good because you pretty much established to this point, which is really good, and people have seen that you've established. Whereas I have to actually get back to that point. If I had kept going after I was doing the content manager for Yoush stuff, I'd probably be in a good situation.
But you're not.
Even
You're
that.
still in a good position where you're not you're not irrecoverable from where you're at, which is really good. And I felt like I got to that point with my old channel to where it's just basically dead. I think you still have forward progress, and you still have back end pool that'll help you out a lot. So
Not so much. I didn't even when I was doing it. See, that was the part that people understand. It was like, how you get a sponsor from a vendor is you sit there and you hammer the crap out of them. That's how I got responses from, Jimmy or Rick. When somebody had a question, I sat there and I'd send them 10 emails in the span of 10 minutes.
Ridiculous. Like, I never understood that. That was I try not to rant about them or talk anything about them too much, but I couldn't get a single answer to a single question. My old channel has literally, like, I can probably pull it up. It's like close to 20 inappropriate video flags and strikes on the channel because they wouldn't help me out, and now it's completely unfixable. And it just... And everyone else bends over backwards for me.
I know.
Like RPM, the second I need something, they're just like, oh, hey, here you go. And they don't know who I am. I'm brand new, but yet... And then I like sit there and Skype. Usually it's just chaos, but anytime I try to get a hold of Big Snacks, that's impossible. But if I can get a hold of Jimmy, he'll send me like 3 words, no grammar, no punctuation, and I'm just like, oh, that's cool. Thanks.
It's true. Same thing for me because technically I'm still part of it as far as being partnered with them. This is mostly because I'm too lazy to shop out for somebody else. Because I've been there for 2011, so 2012, a year or so, whatever. So I'm pretty much over. I can probably jump the contract anytime I want to. Just I would want to go with another network and kind of not go on my own mostly. But it's one of the things where. It was very frustrating being on the back end because everybody was like, oh my God, your staff. I'm like, oh, first of all, we all have full-time jobs except for one person, that would be Jimmy. And getting a hold of that man is, you might as well try to get a hold of God. Because you couldn't. He sit there and that was his job. A lot of people might not know this, that he poured his heart and soul into it. So he told us when he started Yoush with Rick, he quit his job. He left his day job and that's all he did.
Right.
So that was a very big leap for him. On the flip side, though, I'm pretty sure I had heard, his wife was pretty good in the money, so it was good. But again, I'll definitely give them a lot of slack, mostly because with a new network, you have a lot of problems. And really, at that point, it was funny because people kept saying, "Hey." They're just adding directors. It's like, well, that's how you do it. You have to add directors, and then later you can trim the fat and say, look, we now have requirements, and really you're not even posting anything anyway, so who cares? But we're still going to make money off of you anyway. It doesn't make a difference at the end of the day.
What I honestly defended against a bunch was everybody jumped on them for that. I saw a lot of hate go towards Yoush for just basically opening the floodgates and stuff. But for one, they're a brand new network. They kind of got to take anyone they can get. And it was literally like 3 months or 4 months before that and the entire, Modern Warfare 2 era, that Machinima did the same thing. Like, all of Modern Warfare 2 was just every kid and their brother with a squeaky voice and a capture card sitting there posting Modern Warfare 2 gameplay all day, every day. Like,
the only thing that bothered me was Machinima. We got some fairly large name directors, and these guys were immediately contacted by Machinima, whereas before they couldn't even get Machinima to respond to them at all.
And that is pretty cheap.
It was one of those, oh, hey, send us a video, and then all of a sudden they were partnering with Yoush. They said, hey, we're with Yoush. Oh, come on over. We've got your application. We rushed it through.
Right.
And this was, I'm not talking about guys with, 2 million subscribers and, your average 1 million view on each video. These were guys with maybe a couple 100,000, which is still extremely respectable on here. And their views were up there in the, thousands each, 100,000s. But, these were guys that were trying to, at one point, get into these networks. And that is, honestly, that's why Yoush started in the beginning, was basically Rick couldn't get into Machinima. And same thing with Jimmy. So they said, screw it. Let's just start our own. So I respect that. But like another company I worked for, there was a lot of decisions made at the top that I didn't like. And the fact is kind of, bending over backwards, and I just didn't have the time anymore to do it because I was doing it all for free. So, to say that I had issues with it would be, yes, I did. And to say that I'd go with another network, I'd like to say yes, but I liked being staff because at least I knew what was going on for the most part. So, I don't think I'd ever want to start my own network, but I'd like to not be at the bottom mostly.
See, I gotta wonder about that because
really,
there's a lot that popped up, and I can't imagine that either either they're not fully legit, or B, that takes way too much to start up to get, like a few of them that contacted me had maybe 2,000 subscribers on their main channel. What are you getting from that? How is that ever going anywhere? Yeah, exactly. And that happened around the same time that Yoush popped up, which was funny because everybody's like, oh, whatever, they're going to go away. And I knew they weren't. Not just because, oh, hey, they're going to die and you're working for them. It was more like, no, I know the difference between these guys and everyone else is they're not going to let it die. They've got a very large company with full screen behind them. So, they could pretty much keep it going. And the worst case scenario is if Yoush itself crapped out, then they would all get sucked into full screen. So that would be the worst thing to happen. But so it was just, I don't know, man. It was just one of those weird things. I'd like to kind of do this on my own. It just, if I start doing it and start going really hardcore into it with a lot of the podcasts and streaming, which is really what I'd like to get into, then, and obviously the different, a more original series, and I'd like to make a couple dollars, or at least have sponsors and say, look, hey, this week's episode is sponsored by Yo Mama. And see, it seems, no matter what, podcasting just kind of remains at the top of this kind of format. And so, and I don't know the specifics because I've never been involved with it much until trying to get into it recently. But from what I've seen, like actual advertising and podcasting is pretty big. So, I don't know.
It is. And it's funny because we talked about that in the last episode of the Tech Guy Show, where about a year ago, when I was doing this, I pretty much had made the prediction that video commentaries about right now would be dead. They would be nothing because it was.
That's right when I tuned
that time. It was so saturated that I know it's sad because that's when I started doing it too, and it was just so saturated that I'm like, you know what, it's not going to last. No one is really still sit down and watch these friggin' people talk about, their lives or their beast blood. Play a video game. How many times can you see someone? Oh God, dude. There are some. If anybody has ever seen any of my videos or listening to my random rants before, I don't pick beefs with anybody on YouTube or in the Twitter community. I'm really just not into it. And if you want to debate and argue with me, that's fine. I'm Irish and I'm a stubborn bastard. So go right ahead. I'll win because I know I'm going to win. But there are some guys out there that really annoy the crap out of me. And obviously El Presador, and it's funny because these are I started watching when I started thinking about doing videos with Nando. Was obviously El Presador, it was Woody's Gamertag, it was Benno, it was X-Jaws, White Boy, all these guys I started watching in the beginning, but then you just start watching the same damn thing over and over again. You're like, okay, there's absolutely no, I'm not going to say no creativity because, I still do the commentaries, but, I try to do them with something that's somewhat creative in the background. So pretty much the only one that I have left is either, an MMO or Minecraft.
Right.
Epo talking to CobraWolf. Look at the big blue banner. See it? Big blue banner. Thank you.
So, I pretty much predicted to be dead by now. The big thing would be live streaming and podcast. Would be or more original content. I think it was going to unfortunately drive out people like me completely, who really have the graphics abilities and the ability to do really cool, 3D editing and these really cool 3D like the Minecraft movies and stuff. Whereas it hasn't. I don't know how. I don't know how. And I see podcasting on the rise. I see everybody now has a podcast, which sucks because I knew we should have started this earlier, and I self about that. And we're kind of jumping in now when this market is saturated.
Right.
So we just have to, do what everybody else is doing.
Let's see.
Do what you just hammer through.
I always saw it going more towards, it. The way I see it, it's slowly been kind of replacing television for people. It's certainly done it for me. And so the more, shows, the actual, like you mentioned, fancy graphics, the actual legit effort shows, I thought that would be what's being on the rise. I mean, that's also what I've been putting work into and stuff like that. But then, and like the bigger people tried that as well. Like CNanners spent a few months working really hard on these formal shows and stuff, and they just don't get the response. People still just want to watch shit, and so he just said, never mind, it's not worth it, and threw up some more Call of Duty.
Yeah, but it's different for him, and I'm honestly gonna say that it's different for him and a guy who is established, whereas with him or Woody or even Wings or any of these guys out there that can pretty much post up shit at this point. They can really post up a picture of a turd with them humming the Star Spangled Banner in the background, and it'll be the next big thing. It'll be all over all over Twitter. It'll be all over the forums on different websites, and that's pretty much how it's going to be. You can do whatever you want.
Right.
So I still hold to the fact that podcasts will be good, but unfortunately it's back to how much time are you willing to spend into putting out your product, which I kind of like that. That's old school mentality. It's not, that's kind of why I want to go at it alone, is I almost want to say at the end of the day, I grew my channel to X because I put in X amount of time. I grew this podcast as big as it's going to be because I worked my ass off to get it there, and just be happy with it at the end of the day and say, look, this is what I did. We did this. We didn't have this huge network sponsor. Now, if someone like a Yoush tweeter, if someone's like a Yoush Twitter account or a Machinima Twitter account or someone that has huge following where people are blindly loyal, like an Apple customer, then they tweeted out this stuff and all of a sudden people went to your channel and you got a lot of subs out of it. Fantastic. But then you've got to deliver that constant content. And, I remember I saw my channel grow once when, Chaos Silencer tweeted out my channel. He did he was doing random videos where he'd pick someone and he'd pretty much shout out their channel during one of his videos or live streams or something like that. And he tweeted, all of a sudden I saw this huge surge of subs, not huge, huge for me at the time. It was like maybe a couple hundred subs that I got out of it. But these are people that are just blindly following him, and they say, okay, well, he plays. Now, the only thing that was, he did Minecraft, I did Minecraft, and, I did a couple FPS games, so there was a little bit of similarity, but I feel bad for everybody that was shouted out by big names that had, none of the same content.
And see,
then it's just like, oh, wow, my sub count is 9 million. I have 30 views per video.
Right. And see, that was a big deal on my old channel was I had ended up, quite a few big people did that, and like my first major break was that dual comm I did with VicStar123 before he got apparently anywhere near the fan base he has now, but he was at about 100K, and we just threw up a Modern Warfare 2 commentary, and the gameplay was by somebody else even, and so they added him on Xbox, which killed him, or PS3, or whatever. But, I mean, I got partnered with Yaush, or I signed the contract at like 200 subs. Nobody realized that because it took 3 months to process, but in that 3 months, I got, that shout out in Dualcomm, which shot me up past like 2K. All of them want Call of Duty. I don't really post Call of Duty anymore. And I posted a lot. Still posted it back then, but a lot less. And that's why I've pretty much just kind of I'll tell people not to if somebody wants to, that's bigger than me, shout me out, because, look, I'll subscribe to my channel and then be like, okay, what the fuck is this Pokemon shit? What is Minecraft? Why are you posting this? I don't want to watch Guild Wars. I want Call of Duty. And I'm like, okay, here's one flawless Call of Duty gameplay for the entire year. Deal with it.
See, that's the funny part is I could never put up a game like that. I would only, like a couple Battlefield videos I have. I was trying to knife a tank. It was like, I can't do the serious shooter videos. I could put up videos from Borderlands because the game itself is hilarious, and it just lends itself to any kind of humor you can throw into it, or even just doing your own little, like, going into the town of Sanctuary and just doing your own little machinima thing. It's like you can do that because it lends itself to it, but playing something like Call of Duty, look, we're back on the same map. That guy has a gun.
Shipment again, and I got the M40 with my ACOG and my rapid fire aim shot trick scoping mods on my controllers, and we're gonna do a 1v1 against iPhase HDXXX. Come at me, bro.
It's just too funny. I can't. That's something I still can't believe that does really well, but it does. I don't understand it. Maybe it's me. Anybody watching? Do you guys watch any of those videos? I know you're watching Epos here, and he doesn't post that shit. But do you guys watch any of that crap, or do you see people watching? I'm just really curious about how many people sit there and still watch those. Because I stopped. I stopped almost a year ago. I stopped watching them. I'll still post, my occasional thing here and there, but it's not serious. It's not that serious, bro. PTG, part-time game.
Yeah.
Freestyle commentary at its finest. It's not that serious.
Oh god.
I know. I gotta start posting back on the channel too. Nano's pissing me off.
Do they even post on that channel?
Absolutely. He just put up a video a couple weeks ago. Because he's going really hard for the that guy show website and the podcast and everything.
Right.
So, God, it's garbage. I'm not gonna say it's garbage, but definitely the franchise went downhill.
Yeah.
God. I had my opinions on it, which you can find out in that Tech Guy Show episode 1 and 2. Thank you very much.
Shameless self-plugging for the win.
You have no idea. I tell you, I'm going to start. It's funny. Cleveland before posted that where he's basically, I'm going everywhere. I don't care who it is anymore. I will tweet at people until I am blocked by the entire Twitter community. Because this is how I did it when I was the content manager, and this is how I'm going to do it now with everybody else. And it's funny, it's like Cobra's back and you damn right I am, because now it's time for me to start putting the effort back in and getting the effort out. Basically, I'm not going to do this for nothing. I want people to watch it, like any good artiste. I want people to watch my stuff.
I got some guy was making ridiculous comments on Reddit the other day when I posted a PokeMMO to the PokeMMO subreddit because it has, it's brand new. It has no content. I was like, I might as well fill it with something, even though everyone's going to downvote it. And they were just kind of like, well, no, if you're doing it just for fun, you don't need to be, pushing it out to people. And I'm like, no, every good artist wants their stuff to be seen by someone, even if it's just a few people. It's not because, I want to whore it out to everyone, but, people make things to share for the most part. There are exceptions.
Well, that's
but for the
true.
most part, you know, people want their things to be shared when it's that kind of, especially when it's freaking YouTube. So
That's why we put it on YouTube.
Right.
We put it on YouTube because we enjoy it. I mean, don't get me wrong. People like you and me, we still enjoy what we do, which is why we do it. Whereas when like Wings is basically just a piece of crap. That's all he does. It's his whatever. It's his job. It's his living. Whatever you want to call it. I hope he does something else. I haven't followed him. I don't follow him for train wreck purposes. Whatever. It is what it is. He does what he does, and kind of like White Boy. White Boy, you know what it is about him? I haven't followed him. Haven't watched his videos in over a year
Yeah.
at least. I can respect the man from a business standpoint. Right off the bat, the kid knew what he had was gold.
Right.
He found his niche. He found what's going to make him money, and he
Right.
stuck with it. You know, you're talking about guys that are taking home on a monthly basis like $20 to $40 to $50,000 a month of YouTube videos. They put a video of themselves,
doing just anything.
no scope, shot, nothing, or just blabbing in the background about
Yeah.
nothing.
And he had the
but
Dolphin Dive
everything they
series where he
got-
just ran and jumped and shit. And
Yeah. But they still make tons and
Right.
tons of money, which is why I'm not looking for tons and tons of money. In fact, if I don't make money, I don't make money. But what I'm looking for is, at least not on the YouTube side, I'm looking for, you know, turning this into something else. So if I start doing the podcast, if I start doing my writing again and people start seeing that, which is ultimately what you
Right.
want. You do this for yourself, but you do it so other people see it. You hope that someone else looks at it and one person gets something out of it and says, "Oh, you know, I didn't know that," or "Hey, you know something? I see that you've been through something similar to me. Thank you very much," or whatever
Right.
it is. And you know, hey, you know, I got a great laugh out of your video. Hey, let's go play Borderlands together or something like that. It's like it's something you get out of it like that is awesome. But if you all want to donate, that's awesome too. So I'll take money. I'll take bacon. Actually, you can just donate bacon. I'm gonna have a bacon button. I see you have a little money button. I'm gonna have a bacon button. If you donate X amount of money, then I buy bacon. Or just donate bacon. Mail me bacon. Bacon of the month club. Bacon of the month club. That's it. Just donate your bacon of the month club. But anything out to me, you know, I've been writing. I'm 31, so I've been writing stories since I was about 5. So I have a lot of different notebooks going back all the way, you know, here and there. I've got, you know, stories that are maybe 100, 200 pages long. I've got stories that are maybe 30, 40 pages, 2 pages, story starters. I've got a lot of things out there that I can pretty much, you know, do, and I just need to find a way to put them all together and put them out there. And whether it's for a monetary purpose or not, it's more like, hey, that's really good, or hey, you know, you could have done this a little differently, and it's really just so that other people can see it. And that's, you ask any musician, you ask any illustrationist, you ask a painter, you ask a singer, that's what they want. At the end of the day, that's what they want. They want people to see what they're doing and to enjoy it or not enjoy it, but they want the feedback. So that's kind of my goal, is to get. So yes, at the end of the day, if you're partnered, if you're with another network, with a channel, whatever, on your own, views are money. But again, what people might understand is views aren't that much money. It's per 1,000. I think it's still per 1,000, right? So
I mean,
and like per
certain networks
like
are still
$1.
moving to like legit ad revenue, to where it's not just per 1,000, it's per actual ad exposure, because people have ad block, people are on mobile, things like that. But for the most part, it's per 1,000.
Yes. Yeah, and that's what people need to understand. You're not making $20,000-$30,000 a month off of nothing. It's like you see 1 million views, and that's what they make. They don't make $1 million; they make 20, which is still, you know, a pretty legit damn thing every month. You know, I obviously views translates into money. Also, views translates into, hey, someone enjoys what I'm doing. Enough people enjoy what I'm doing, where they pass it on the word, and I can keep doing it. I can continue to do it.
And see, those who find, you know, little things that get them ahead as far as making money from it, people hate on that so much. But frankly, that's what people do with everything. I mean, like you mentioned, White Boy, you know, he he figured out what he was doing from the beginning. Him and X-Jaws with those giveaway videos. They found a perfectly good way to make themselves loads of money without ripping anybody off. And so, yeah, it's a bit cheap that, you know, they were rolling the homepage, essentially. But, I mean, they were giving away thousands of dollars worth of gaming shit and making hundreds of thousands back. And just because you couldn't pull it off doesn't mean it's that big of a deal.
No, I think literally it was just the, you know, one of the 7 deadly sins. I think it was envy that pretty much said, you know, why are they doing this? Or it was more like, why didn't I have this idea?
Right. I mean,
they're doing
it was
videos.
Genius. I mean, and I'm honestly, I'm
was
still
awesome.
pretty curious as to how much they made, because that had to have been a shit ton. To have ruled the homepage for like months in a row, just constantly, oh hey, I'm at the grocery store giveaway, millions of views.
A lot. I mean, think about it. Your average musician, you know, let's say your average band will typically sign a contract where they will make almost pennies on the dollar. But typically what they'll have is they'll do contract clauses. They make revenue on, you know, merchandise. Right. Whereas these guys are getting merchandise to give away from the vendors. They're getting paid by some of these sponsors. They're getting things for free that normally they have to pay for. In the case of, you know, you saw, you know, your Minecraft server hosting or whatever, and they're getting this crap for free. So now it's like, you know, driving to work with a company car, and then getting paid to stay home too. You're getting paid for everything. So kudos to those guys. I never hated on them for that. I thought it was an amazing business perspective. It was amazing for the fact that, you know, X-Jaws stopped doing it because he was just getting too much hate. Showed the fact that he was, 16 at the time? Yeah, rough. Friggin' rough. Kid making that much money doing videos of him shooting things in a virtual world and just blabbing over it. Rough. That kid should have done it and milked that golden goose until it exploded. And then he should have moved on to a real job or not, because the kid probably had enough money to sit there and say, you know what, I'm just going to live off the interest of my bank accounts.
And frankly, I mean,
so,
and see, it kind of his age kind of showed with that. I mean, he bought like a brand new car with it or whatever. He probably still had plenty after that, but I mean, if you play your cards right, either one of them probably could have been set for most of their lives with just that. Now, again, you can't just go out and buy everything and then expect to have money left, but I mean, he certainly wouldn't be working 40 to 50 hours a week for his entire life.
Yeah. And these are guys that's all they do. And it's awesome. Hey, and kudos to them.
And there's more and more people, I mean, doing YouTube full time now, so it would, while yes, I don't expect the just straightforward, you know, FPS gameplay commentary scene to last forever, I'd really like to see the whole, I guess, YouTube format, or this kind of format, stick around and evolve, if nothing else but simply because this is some people's, like, only jobs, and honestly, that leads to better content. I mean, when you have people, you know, doing full-time jobs, having families, and trying to make videos, you're not going to get as much out of someone who can sit there and say they put their 40 hours a week into YouTube. And
it's true. Unless, of course, your Wings of Redemption, pretty much he just put shit into everything, and he says that's his full-time job. So, honestly, never seen anything from that man that I enjoyed. Again, in the beginning, he was like a novelty, you know?
Right.
But then after a while, it just was something I didn't watch. The same thing with White Boy. You know, a lot of people still watch him, obviously, but I don't. I don't watch his stuff. I don't follow him. I don't, you know, don't pick on him. Don't really talk about him. But he found his niche. Now, the good thing about these guys got in early when it was not that it was big. It was like the housing market. They got in right at the top of the housing market. The only difference is when the YouTube market kind of crashed because it got so saturated, they were already at the top. And unlike, you know, any other market, when you're at the top and everything crashes around you, it's like you had already paid your subscription fee. Yeah, you know, it was like you're there. You don't have a choice, and you might as well just keep watching him anyway because you know that you like this guy, and you're not really going to go searching for new channels to watch and searching for new content because, unless one of them says, "Hey, go check this guy out. He plays the same games. He's really funny." because I trust you. I like your
Right.
content, so I'm going to watch what you tell me to watch. So it's rough. It's very rough because that's why, honestly, we sit there and pound the crap out of these guys because at one point either they're going to block you or they're going to give
Right.
in. You might catch that break, and that break is, a huge, huge thing. That's like that's huge. That really is huge to get something from one of the bigger guys out there. So, but it depends on the bigger
Right.
person. If you get a shout out from Wings of Redemption, you're pretty much screwed.
Right. And it really does, and it
It,
just and it also depends on you got to make sure it's within your area, because again, like with mine, if you get a shout out from some Call of Duty guy and you don't post Call of Duty, that doesn't help you. There will be a small percentage who do watch other content and will like your stuff, but there's always the blind followers are generally the ones who only watch basically shit videos that you're not posting, and they're gonna subscribe to you, but they're not gonna click on anything that pops up.
yeah, no, it's absolutely true. It's hard to ask for something from some of these guys, and no matter how much you want it, that again, that's pretty much what happens. They might not be in the same genre, so you'll get this influx of subs, and then it just doesn't make a difference anyway. So you've got to kind of make sure you're staying in your own realm, which is why, again, doing the giveaways and doing the sponsorships from different companies, you get put on their list somewhere, whether you're on a web page or whether you're on a, just going back and forth on Twitter, and people see that. That's kind of what I used to do for the companies I worked for in the past. So, I know the game. I know it very well. And unfortunately, the companies I worked for in the past are companies that wouldn't, are not one of these companies. I worked with a lot of vendors and retailers, so that was a lot different. But it's interesting to see how you kind of start, because now it's almost it's just a big cluster. It really is. It's hard to see how you can jump in, and there's no surefire way that says I'm going to be successful or
Right.
not doing this.
And that's the disappointing part about anybody's like YouTube tips, like people who talk to, who actually get a chance to ask, big people's opinions. They don't have a clue what makes a good channel. They don't have a clue what gets you to success. They happen to luck upon it, and they just ride the wave. And people can say,
And
make
that's true.
consistent content, make good content, but then you look at the thousands of channels that do that and don't get anywhere, and that doesn't really seem like a good formula.
And you've got to look overall at your demographic. Your average person watching YouTube videos is, what the hell was it? It was like between the ages of like 13 and 21 or 22. I think I was looking at, and that was, you have to, to get in the money, so to speak. That's pretty much how you've got to tailor all of the things. You've got to tailor your videos. You've got to tailor your wording. You have to tailor, the graphics you use. I mean, it's a big psychology thing and sociology experiment
Right.
to see what you can do. Once you have them in there, they're pretty much screwed, and you can, entrance them into watching all your stuff. But it's hard to get someone. Yeah, there's no surefire way these days. There's no way that somebody can come up and say, "Here's my book of how to get famous on YouTube," because nobody knows
Right.
how. Most people are lucky, and that's pretty much what it was, man. Most people just got lucky. They stuck with this core group of people, and they just did their own thing, and they were fun to watch in the beginning. And then, to me, they got stale because there was really nothing extra. You kind of, I'll relate it to, like Call of Duty. Call of Duty is a franchise that started off awesome, and then turned to complete crap, but people still
Right.
buy it. People still buy it in droves. I mean, millions and millions of copies every time there's a release. And I don't get it because they've really offered nothing new. They haven't offered that big innovation of technology or gaming or whatever. So, but they're still going to sell. That's kind of like all the big guys that are out there. I've never seen anything new from
Right.
them, but they're still going to sell.
And see, but that's the biggest part, is that nobody, like, there's always a big enough resistance to any sort of change, any sort of thing they offer new, that it literally becomes, from a business perspective, completely not worth it to do. And that's so disappointing. And that's why, honestly, like, if there's ever a big YouTube tip, a big YouTube helper to give someone, is to find that niche that people like watching you of and just whore that out, because that's the only way you're really going to get like a straightforward path anywhere, which is, yeah, extremely disappointing. But I mean, and again, I keep referencing him because he's the only YouTuber I've actually like studied in depth, but CNanners, going back and watching his old videos, he was a huge Halo player. He played all kinds of other games before YouTube took it away. He was a film student in college, did lots of graphics, design graphics, film experimentation, things like that. But he never posted any of that because, you know, even when he first started posting vlogs, everybody rejected it. Every time he tried posting a different game, it was rejected. So you stick with your niche and you get successful, whether or not you like it. And everybody complains about, you know, well, I posted this video on my channel. If you all don't like it, it's my channel. I post what I want. Yeah, you can post what you want, but people aren't going to watch it. It's like, you know, a soda company putting out video games and expecting them to sell as well as their soda or something like that. Like, once you start making a specific product, you can't just put something else out there and expect the same success to keep going. And so, yeah, you can take the variety approach like I have and things like that, but then you're going to have a much slower start. You have to adapt for that. You can't just expect every single viewer to watch every single video. It takes a lot more.
It does, and that's the same kind of issue that I had. Nighty night, nasty
Good night,
gaming.
nasty.
Goodbye.
Irish bastard.
Triple X. Good luck with that, buddy. That's kind of the same problems I had. Whereas I know it's funny. I used to be so focused on games. I'd play a game for 3-4 days straight, beat it, and then move on to the next game 3, 4, 5 days straight, whatever, beat it. Now I'm like total gaming ADD. I can't stick with one friggin' game to beat it. You know, I've got a shelf full of games that I've gotten 5 minutes in, half an hour, 3 hours in. Oh my god, this is great! And then I just stopped playing it. You know, and started watching Sons of Anarchy or something. It's like, it's just so stupid. But that's kind of how my gaming is. It's like I don't want to just put up videos of Minecraft. It's like I don't sit in front of my computer and play just Minecraft. I've got a little list of games in my little Raptor thing alone that says play this.
And see, I tried that. I tried, okay, I'm going to stick with the niche. Let's just post Halo videos. I'm good at Halo. I like playing Halo. It gets boring. Even if you, stock up a bunch of footage and keep putting it out, you don't want to keep talking over it. You don't want to keep using it. And you get the creative urge to put out things of the games you're playing. And I don't understand how people stick with one game like that. Like, especially something like Call of Duty. It gets stale.
Yeah, it's true. And well, at least to you and I it does.
Right.
But again,
that's not everyone.
Look at the popularity. Right. Look at the fact that people... My number one gripe on Twitter, because, unfortunately knowing social networking as well as I do now, that is pretty much the way to go. It's all Call of Duty. And that's the part that kills me the most, because the people that talk about it the most are the ones that bitch about it the most. All they do is sit there and complain.
Worst cycle in the world.
Man, if I complain that much... I know, it's like if I complain that much, it's something I'm not using anymore. But these are guys who are like, oh, complain. It's like the first 7 posts for the day. Complain about Call of Duty, blah, 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 blah. And then, oh, my new video of Call of Duty is up, and hey, I'm looking for a match.
People join.
To Call of Duty. Yeah, exactly. It just...
And I literally unfollow just like plenty of people every year around this time, because it's the same cycle of, oh hey, X previous Call of Duty is the worst game in the world. Next one's gonna be the best. And then it comes out, this is the best game in the world. 3 weeks later, this is the worst game in the world. I'm going back to the previous one, which was the best game in the world.
Yeah. And the thing about, I won't go too deep into it. The thing about Call of Duty, I love the story, but kind of like Halo, the fact that I can beat the single player experience in like 5 hours, it's pretty, it's kind of sad.
And when, especially like in honestly, I never got into the Call of Duty campaigns past like 4, but especially in something like Call of Duty where you you in particular don't like the multiplayer all that much or don't have the time to put into it to get skillful at it,
Mhm.
then the 6-hour campaign just makes you feel like you wasted money. You you paid
Yeah.
$10 an
And
hour
that's-
of gameplay.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't. I love the multiplayer. The multiplayer is fun. The part that caught to kill me is just their business model is amazing. Let's release a
Every year.
game, and then in 3 months we're going to release a map pack for
Yeah.
$15, and we're basically going to charge you at the end of the day $100 or $120 something dollars for a game that you just don't realize it. You don't realize. Oh, I just bought a map. I bought all the map packs, dude. You spent like $200 in the game. Did you realize that you did that? No, I don't think so.
Just to turn
Look
around
at
in 2
numbers
months
for you.
and complain about it nonstop.
And then, well, no, the worst part is they'll release all the map packs, and you'll spend whatever 150. I think it was 120 or $150 last time I looked. And then in another 5 or 6 months, there's a new title,
right.
and you're not going to play one anymore. The new one comes out, then they're going to do the whole thing over again, and it's just like I can't
Right.
do that.
And
Well, how long have I've been playing WoW since beta? So
yeah,
yes, I bought the expansion. I've put a couple hours into that game. I don't feel bad about buying the expansions for that. It was like any Blizzard title,
Right.
really. Any of the the Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3. It's like I could see buying the expansion because they're not going to come out with a new title in 6.
you got
It's
12
gonna be
years.
like 6 years. Yeah, pretty much. It's going to just keep waiting. But I could see doing that because it's worth it. Whereas a game like this, or what, 3 friggin' maps? Man, if I had the PC version, I'd get the maps for free.
Well, only
Someone's going to make the maps. No, someone's going to
Oh,
make
well,
them. Who cares? It's all maps.
yeah.
Look at how big Counter-Strike was. Look at the business model of
Right.
Counter-Strike. You know?
And it's been out forever.
Yeah, exactly. Do I feel bad from Irish Prodigy about the $15 a month? You know what? At this point, man, I am so deep into Blizzard. Nope,
Balls deep.
can't say that I do. You literally since beta. Before that, I played. I kind of bounced around. I played EverQuest 1 for a couple years. That was a lot of fun. I was in an amazing guild at the time. It was huge. I played Star Wars Galaxies briefly. I played a couple of the other ones. But $15 a month, man. My wife plays it. I play it, and I'm good. I didn't want to calculate those numbers, but at that point, like, you can't get out of it. Whether I play it for, and don't get me wrong, I don't play it every day the way I used to. Obviously when I started playing it, we were, doing the 8-9 hour raids in the
Right.
beginning, and it was a lot of fun. I don't do that anymore. So it's definitely not a time waster. I have kids now, but yes, no, I'm good. $15 a month, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Happy.
And then, like you all
Lots of
mentioned
money.
on that Tech Guy show with the Call of Duty Elite package, something I've kind of wondered about is I'm pretty sure GameStop was selling, Elite pre-orders of Black Ops 2, where you're prepaying for the Elite service and everything. And having worked for that, corporate asshattery, that's not something they easily just kind of like hand your money back for, like, oh, our bad. They generally find a way to keep it. I would be pretty pissed to find out, like, sure, I'd be pissed if I somehow pre-ordered that to begin with, but, I pre-order an extra $60 of expansions that they're just going to say are free, and then GameStop be like, okay, well, you get DLC code of something, or here's a little bobblehead. Here you go.
Yeah.
Bandanas.
Yes, having worked for them from
Right.
a management perspective, they just don't tell you
Right. That's the lovely part.
cheaper. They just give you your game when you come in, and then they'll just give you in-store credit. Good luck.
no.
You have to remember that you actually paid that money.
Right.
It's not lying.
And see, it's even worse. Like,
It's there. They're not stealing it.
you fully
But-
paid the money, and not only do they keep it despite like you not getting anything or whatever, but you don't even get like their crappy little reward system for it. Like if it's a transaction or like a pre-order or something that you don't fully ring up, you don't even get their little bonus points for spending the money there. And so anybody who thinks they've ever pre-ordered something at GameStop that they haven't gotten, like, try and just chokehold the cashier until they show you, like, your full list. Because I work there as, you know, pretty much assistant manager. And I went in there today to pay off Halo 4, which I apparently owed a lot more than I did when I stopped working there, but whatever. They were like 30 seconds away from not telling me about the 2 pre-orders that I missed, that I knew I missed, until I leaned over the counter when I was trying to figure out how I owed that much on Halo 4, and, you know, saw them, and he's like, oh yeah, by the way, you forgot Dead or Alive 5 and Tekken Tag, would you like to move them? And I'm like, well, yeah, because otherwise they don't freaking tell you, and so...
No, they don't. There was a lot of things that we did were kind of shady, and it's just retail. It's the nature of the business, Team Killer. Don't feel bad about it. It's not just GameStop. It's you know, before it was GameStop, I worked for Babbage's, which then became became GameStop, and then you know, EB Games. I worked for them before they all merged into the same company. I worked for other companies too, and it's the nature of the business. Those pre-orders for them, and this is a funny thing. Just as a little bit like, God, man, that's numbers for the store. The manager looks great,
and
just as a little tidbit of funniness for all of you. Let's say you don't come in and you have a pre-order on, let's say Halo 4. You put down $5. What the first thing they'll do when you go in there is they'll say, hey, look, it's $5, man. It's only $5. Just why don't you just give us the whole price of the game? We'll take that $5 we already have in our system, and we'll roll it into another pre-order. You know, you're going to pre-order something anyway. They don't want to give you that $5. It's just they do not, and they're told all ways to do it. And a lot of times, like the pre-orders that Epos here was talking about, where they won't tell you they're there, but they know they're there. So it says, hey, you had Tekken Tag, and man, Tekken Tag came out, you know, whatever. Let's say the game you had reserved came out 5 months ago, and they're looking through the system because they have a part of their system that'll tell them all the pre-orders that have been missed that are still in the system. They'll say, well, screw it. Just roll that into Halo 4. So they're going to inflate their Halo numbers because it's a big title and they want to see the numbers. So it's just a tidbit, you know. So always ask because they will.
If you buy a game that you had on pre-order, you know, even just like more than 2 weeks ago, and you don't mention, like you forget that you had a pre-order, or you just don't mention it, they won't ring up your pre-order. They won't take your $5 off of it. They will just sell you the full copy of the game to keep that $5 in the system. But while it's all corporate shit I don't agree with, do keep in mind, you know, if you are choking your cashier to demand your list of open pre-orders, that it's equally as bad for them if you try and cancel. That's why they, you know, do everything they can to keep you from canceling. Because, I mean, getting a cancel is like if you're trying to get your full money back and cancel the pre-order, that ruins a person's day. So just keep in mind that they're not, the single individual person is not trying to steal your money, that they're trying to not lose their job, basically, which is bullshit, but it's retail.
No, they're told to.
Yeah.
That's what they're told to. Their store manager tells them to do it because their district manager walked in and he said,
numbers.
If you don't have your team get good numbers, you're fired.
Basically.
You know, or you'll get a write-up or something like that. It's not shady. It's just the business. You know, I worked in retail for 15 or so years. I know the business very well, and that's how it works. Retail is a very, very competitive game, and it's a very hard market for companies to stay in business, even large companies. Look what happened to Circuit City. Circuit City wasn't small. You know, Circuit City wasn't a small company. It was Borders. Borders wasn't a small company.
Circuit City
these are companies that went out of business.
Online, don't they? Somehow.
It does because I think, like many other things, Tiger Direct bought the name.
Right.
So they bought CompUSA, and CompUSA is now amazing because their stores are so much better and cleaner. At least the ones they kept open.
See, I ended up getting
So I think they
subscribed
bought
to
the
like
gateway.
news lists of like 3 different computer stores, and then I happened to notice that all of their, you know, weekly sales ads are exactly the same. I'm like, wait a minute, something's not right here. Oh look, buy Tiger Direct on every single one.
Yeah, they did some amazing stuff. They've been killing with the money. So yeah, don't feel bad, everybody. It's just that's retail. It's the nature of the beast. It's a little bit. You look at a company like GameStop and you think that they're gigantic, but really, when it's broken down into districts and then broken down smaller districts into store by store, they're not franchised, but they might as well be because they pretty much treat you like that.
Right.
So that's they look at each store like its own little universe, and it sucks.
Yeah.
But whatever.
And especially like the one I worked at, there was one literally, you know, you go to the system to find things that are, you know, closest to that store. There was one that was literally 0 miles from our store. It was literally like a 5-minute car ride to the other store, and yet you're competing with that same store for the same customers pretty much. And
Yeah. Well, we had a lot like that. You know, there's actually 2 in up in Connecticut in the town of Danbury. There's 2 in the mall. They kept the EB Games and they kept the GameStop.
oh,
So there's one upstairs and there's one
What?
downstairs. Well, they named the best part is they were able to rename them both as GameStops, but they kept them both in the store, in the mall.
God.
So if the downstairs store doesn't have it, then the upstairs store has it. It's really stupid. And this is not a big mall. I'm not talking like Mall of the America size. This is, you know, this is a small. It's a nice mall, but it's tiny compared to most of the malls that I've been
That's
in.
horrible.
So, and that's not the only one. You know, when I was down in Florida, we had one in the mall and then one across the street from the mall. And then in Aventura, which is down in the Miami area, there was 3
Yeah.
because there was an EB, there was a GameStop, and then there was a they had an EBX.
God.
So, yeah, Mall of the America's 3 GameStops. I believe it. It's stupid. And the worst part is some of the malls will not allow companies to be in the same mall. So you can't have 2 GameStops.
Right.
So what they'll
rename
do
it.
is they'll keep one at EBX or GameStop Video or
Right.
something. Kind of like, what the hell was it? What's the other one? Not Strawberries. What the hell was that other one that's in the malls? It wasn't Best Buy. There was another company that was mostly in malls,
FYE?
and they split them up and like FYE. It was like FYE normal and then FYE music
right.
or something like that. And that's how they got around it, because they bought these other companies and said, you know, we're going to keep our stores, we're going to keep paying for it as long as they're profitable, and we're just going to name it something else. So it's really stupid. It's really, really dumb. But each of those managers, they are fiercely competitive. They want the numbers. They want those reserves in their store. They want those sales in their stores, and that's what gets them money. That's what keeps them a job, really. They don't make any money. There's no spiffs or anything. Just they keep their job.
Yeah. They like to give you the illusion you'll get like free game stuff for being an awesome manager, but
Yeah.
you don't.
No. So that's everybody's little insider information on the world of retail.
You can always check on my channel for maybe a Cobra's perspective on retail.
Yeah, but see, now you're
never thought
obligated
about
to actually make a video on that, so keep that in mind.
I worked it for so long that, you know, it's just, these are things that are natural to me. I know these things. So it's amusing to still think that people don't realize this by now, but I guess, you know, out of sight, out of mind.
Yep.
But yeah, good old retail. Love it. But yeah, going back to the sponsor thing. So that's why people sponsor things. And that's why you'll see their names. It's just, hey, how can we make our business, whatever our business is, do better?
Right.
Well, we'll sponsor something.
So I wonder if I could get
Good stuff.
GameStop I worked at to sponsor me.
Good luck with that crap. We wouldn't even sponsor cancer patients.
So
So
wouldn't sponsor what?
cancer
No.
patients.
Yay.
Oh, they were good with that. They didn't care. Pfft, your kid's sick and dying of cancer? Man, we don't care. We ain't giving you nothing. I'm like, dude,
But,
really?
but before you leave, make sure you pre-order Renew Your Power Up and all that.
You know, Halo 3's coming out.
Oh, that's the week after
They
your child's
drove me
supposed to
nuts with
die?
some-
Well, you can always... We have holiday layaway.
Well, this game's coming out that day.
Get it at the midnight release and you'll have a
They
couple
were-
hours left.
They were really, really bad. Yeah, there's not much I can say about that crap, but whatever.
I don't know. Maybe they'll give me, you know, the old visual merchandising shit.
Good luck.
Huh?
Good luck with the
Oh.
crap.
That was easy to get when I worked there, but since, you know, it's hard to figure out when they're going to toss it out, it's hard to do that when you don't.
Yeah, and you'd have to go back to the same store and talk to the guys you worked with, because you go to another store and, hey, you know, I used to be a manager. Oh, great.
Right.
Pre-order this. I'm like,
Yeah,
really?
exactly.
Just-
You gotta...
But again, it's just the nature of the business. They don't really care. They make $8.50 an hour, so they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And I agree with them. They shouldn't care. The people that get jobs at those stores are people that are really into gaming, and the people that are managers are typically people that are not really into gaming, which is even
Yeah,
funnier.
I've noticed that.
Yeah, I had a lot of those. I was probably the only man, like one of the few managers in those stores that actually played games.
And see, my manager
I
played
did-
games like a lot more than he worked, but he was an awful manager. So
That's the worst too. But retail's a fickle beast. How's the radio show? The radio station
going
thing going?
very well. They're actually supposedly it's taken a while, but I suppose those things do. But they're working on getting some midnight show on like Ion TV. I don't know if that's local only or not, but some late night show just to start up because the radio station buys out TV slots and stuff and things like that, and it's just gonna be like a short 30-minute thing. But ideally, that means I get like an actual. He said once they get the sponsorship for that, I get an actual hourly wage starting with that, so that'll be pretty cool.
Woohoo! Money!
And I can produce now with equipment that was older than I am, but
Yeah, but then you go home and you're like, man, screw this. I'm just gonna use Vegas.
yep.
I'm gonna use all my gear.
We use Wirecast for the live stream part, so that's why I use it now, just so I can keep up with using it and stuff, work out new things to use with them, and make new graphics for them, things like that.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, it's good. It's good. The radio thing was something I always wanted to get into. I remember doing it as a kid. I used to do little, radio spot voiceovers between like DJ stuff between songs. Do my own custom mixtapes. It's one of those things you kind of wish you had and be like, look, no, I'm not
Right.
kidding.
And see, I've been
Yeah.
we have a set of redoings where they have this same voice clip that I just cut up and then add the little music or whatever. And there were a couple weeks there where I used my own, but I need to go back and re-record them and stuff. But that's me just kind of putting things out there. I played a little channel advertisement for myself on air one day and things like that, just trying to get a little bit in there.
Nice. That's funny. Have they, used you for any of those?
Yeah,
Or no?
like because I basically because I do some of like at least half the shows now solo as far as production goes. I basically get to use what I want, so I do use my own voiceover stuff. When nobody's looking, I'll just kind of roll the channel advertisement right before commercials.
That's funny.
Actually, I think it's this one, right?
/EposVox.
Nope, there it goes.
That's youtube.com/EposVox. That's EposVox.
A WAV file that it apparently didn't want to play. My bad.
No. Here it goes.
I don't know why it's running so bad today. I mean, I got a lot of shit open, but my specs aren't used up a lot. Whatever.
That's funny. No, it's good though, because radio's it's a very interesting medium, and that's instantly everybody hears it. It's like if you're listening to the radio station, and it's not like YouTube where it's kind of hit or miss. Like, oh, my video got linked. Oh, hey, whatever. If you like this video, you might like this video. Where it's like, oh, hey, I'm listening to the radio station. I really don't have a damn choice. I'm gonna listen to whatever's on commercials and everything.
Right.
So,
And see, I'm hoping, it'll work out pretty well for some pretty good, listings to say it helped with for once I get into working with other media positions and stuff, which I really, hope to pursue in the long run. So hopefully it'll look good.
it does, and again, anything on a resume looks good.
Right.
So,
And see, honestly, I've been kind of looking out, hoping to get, a position like you had where you don't necessarily have to do a whole lot, but still get to be, a community manager for someone. But
mhm.
I don't. Basically, everybody, I talk to and follow are already having, that's already taken care of, so it's kind of hard to catch on, when Yoush is popping up. I was just,
Yeah. It's a lot more crap than you think it is, really. Although every now and then someone will pop up with a bunch of tweets that says, "We want Cobra back." I'm like, but I'm never gone anywhere. They're like, no, we want you back doing this. They're like, we don't even know who the content manager is now.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Oh,
I thought.
you know, it was funny. I recruited him. I brought him
Oh,
in.
really?
Yeah, he had a good following. He had good stuff on his channel for what he did, and because he did the Dark Souls, right? Was he doing Dark? He did Dark Souls, yeah. He had a good following. His live streams were always packed, so he had some good stuff. So I'm like, hey man, we don't have anybody that does that game. It was just, you know, while you're looking at the FPS side and everybody else, they were just bringing people in all over the place. I was very, very picky
Right.
about who I got on my team because I knew that I wanted to grow it with good content, not just tons of content. So I was very, very selective on how I brought someone in, who I brought them in, and it was just one of those things that I took a lot of personal responsibility on. It was my channel for all intents and purposes. It was mine. And now I don't know how he's doing or what he's doing, and I don't see anything coming from that side of it, and it pisses me off because it's got the largest amount of growth, I think, in that area. Same thing, like I heard bad things about the guy who runs Machinima Realm now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I guess he's a putz. He just doesn't really care about it. He doesn't really do anything with the channel, and that pisses me off because I'd love to run that.
No wonder.
Not just from the standpoint of like, oh my god, I run Machinima Realm. Like, no, I think it's just the coolest, broadest area. You know, on something like Realm, you can put World of Warcraft, you can put League of Legends, you can put Minecraft, you can put
all
any
the big non-shooter games, basically.
put friggin' Devil May Cry. It's like you kind of have a pretty big gray area there, and if you get people that are good enough, and you can kind of do a big counterbalance and say, okay, well, I've got 4 videos going up today, and you're gonna like one of them. I'm a huge network. You're gonna like one of the videos I put up. Whereas before with Yoush, I try to put up only 1 video a day. People were pissed. They're like, why are you doing more? Sometimes I'd be so overloaded, I have to do 2 a day.
And then some days you would be lucky to have 2 a week.
It's funny. I remember when I took over from the people that were doing it before, even right after it started, they went through 2 content managers for that. And there were like 2 videos total. And they wanted 1 to 2 videos a day. So finally, I jumped in. I got all the people I got. I started hammering the crap out of all my directors. I was weekly emails. I mean, I actually miss it. It was awesome communication. It was a lot of fun. I had a great time doing it.
I got an email like a couple weeks ago from Sorect, whatever his name is, the new content manager, asking for uploads, new series and stuff. And I just kind of realized that you used to send out weekly videos or weekly emails, cheering everybody on, getting, asking for content, talking about growth and stuff. That was the first email I ever got from that person.
Yeah, and there was something else that I had started that unfortunately died was when we had one of our, whatever, our crappy little weekly meetings with the staff. I wanted to do a weekly video on the main channel that spotlighted either a director on a channel or the whole channel or some different directors on each part of the network, and they loved it. It was great. So we got one together. I got my first guy was actually Sada, because I was having a hard time with him, and it was just he was not so happy with. He stayed because of me. Once I started, I was the only reason that he stayed in because he was in there and he was to leave.
Right.
And I really like Doug. Doug's a really good guy. I know he's getting better. His channel's growing finally, which is really good. But he was having issues, and then I just started communicating with people, and really that's all it was at the end of the day. Was I really just wanted to get that channel out there, and I felt that they had not cared about this Alliance channel they started, and I'm like, well, that's got to stop, guys. I was like, you got to stop pimping this Call of Duty crap, because there's a lot of other games out there that blow the crap out of Call of Duty. I was like, you don't see the viewership on a Call of Duty match that you'd see on, a WoW tournament, like a Battleground or a League of Legends tournament. Like, it's literally, you don't see it. It blows it out of the water. So I do miss it. I really, really miss it. For that reason alone, I'd love to start a network. I'd love to go out and be like, you know what? Screw it. These guys could do it, and they are whatever. I can do it. I can do it. I can dedicate the time to it. I know I'm going to get something out of it at the end because everyone's going to love this. It's going to be the best network ever.
Right.
But I can't. There's no way I could do something like that alone. And I wouldn't even know how. These guys got a big backing behind them, and at this point, I have to do a splinter off of it and say, okay, Machinima, you've got this, and this. Let me just do this. And if it fails, it fails. You lost nothing. If it does really well, then I make money. You make money. And you can wrap it into somebody else, however you want to do it. But again, that comes back to getting bigger and finding people, to watch your stuff, listen to you. You used to be able to tweet, let's say probably a year or 2 years ago, 3 years, whenever CNRs popped up, you could probably tweet him and he'd tweet you back. Now it's not that he probably doesn't want to, it's just that he can't.
He's tweeted me back.
There's only so many people.
Yeah, brag about, but
thank you. No, that's fine. That's fine. I'll spam the shit out of him later. No big deal. But it's just, it gets frustrating. But to see something like that, it's like, hey, look, your channel sucks, man, but I can help you. It's like, why wouldn't you take that? But they wouldn't. Not awesome, and they don't know who I am. Oh well, yeah, I was a content manager. I was the guy that brought Alliance all the way up, and it's like I see one tweet a month. It's frustrating. It's frustrating to see. It's like, man, just put me back. Put me back in the channel, pay me the money, and I'll just keep doing what I was doing. It was a lot of work, and I had a lot of free time at work. Now I don't. So, wow, August 2nd. Yeah, see, at EposVox. Best of luck. That's great. So it's good, but basically, like I said, I'm really just gonna be trying to pimp myself out and see who responds and who comes back and says, hey, I actually watch your thing. It's a great concept of this, or hey, you can do this. So it'll be fun. It's gonna be a fun ride. I'm gonna try to ride it out as much as I can and whore myself out like a $2 Saigon whore.
Okay.
I'm a man slut. Pretty much the last I'm talking. Yes, Blizzard Ball. I did see that we had a bunch of people. Damn these presidential debates. Don't these people know that they're all two lying sacks on opposite side of a podium that no one really cares about anyway? They could be watching this. Yeah. Tell your friends and family and say, these guys all suck.
No.
Phone roller.
Well, we should probably wrap it up anyway. It's already been like 2 hours, so I had no idea. Thanks to everybody who's still here that came out. All like 2 of you. Huge props to CobraWolf for sticking it out with me. Everybody go subscribe to him, help him out, pimp his shit out, how it goes. Help him along his journey with me. If I can type YouTube properly.
It's been since we've been talking.
You completely cut out there. What?
It's almost 2 years since we've been talking, I think.
Long time?
Something like that? I don't know. I lose time. Time just goes away. I think it's been 2 years. I've been here for almost a year. Like I said, I came here January 2nd is when I moved. And I'm sure I can dig through, some of the old Skype things and chats. So probably been almost 2 years.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Thanks. Thank you, Chu.
Thank you, everyone.
So,
have a good night.
Yeah. It's good.
Bye-bye.
Beep. Beep, beep, beep.
You say your word that you're
There's no quote.
Quetzalcoatl. Or not.
Quetzalcoatl.